Emmy Award-winning broadcaster and columnist Steve Adubato. He spoke with New Jersey Senators Cory and Bob Menendez about police, community relations, immigration, and a host of other issues facing the nation. And Steve sat down with me for a one-on-one to discuss where the senators stand on these issues. And now we're very pleased to be joined by Emmy Award-winning television broadcaster Steve Adubato. And Steve, it's always good talking to you, and I'm curious, before we get into the specifics, did you get the sense from these two senators that, like many out there, there's a defeatist kind of vibe, that they're just tired like the rest of us with how bad Washington is? Or do they actually think 2015 will be better than the past year?
Richard, you know politics better than anyone. Do you think Senator Bob Menendez, a veteran in Washington, and Cory Booker, who's beginning to learn the ropes in Washington, you think they're going to actually tell me if they're already frustrated? I mean, first of all, the Democrats are going to have to get used to being in the minority. They're going to have to get used to the fact that the Republicans are taking control in just a few weeks down in D.C. in the Senate. So listen, they were putting up a very united front. They are very close together. In my opinion, they are the first Democratic duo, or the first two United States senators in New Jersey who really have worked together hand in hand and cooperated. That has not been the history, as you well know, Richard, in New Jersey. But they were saying, hey, listen, we're hopeful. We're going to be in the minority, not in control, but they sounded optimistic. But we will see in just a few weeks when the Democrats have virtually no power in Congress.
Well, let me ask you, in a post-Ferguson and post-Garner world, obviously you have a senator of color and also another senator from a minority population. Where did they come down on this, and how much of a role do they think the federal government's got to have as it relates to policing in communities of color?
You nailed it, Rich, because that was the first question. It was the most dominant question. It was the biggest part of the discussion. I mean, right out of the box, you got to realize, coming out of the Eric Garner situation in Ferguson, that's what I asked them. I said, what is the role of the federal government? They said the federal government absolutely needed to play a big role. They needed to step in civil rights cases, doing what it is that many believe across this country that the local government, state government did not do, that these grand juries did not do by not indicting in either Ferguson or in the Staten Island Eric Garner case. They believe the federal government has to do this to restore the kind of faith that has been lost, not just in the eyes of African Americans, but other Americans across this country, in the judicial system, in the court system, in the relationship between minorities on the streets and disproportionately white police officers. That is the sense, and Menendez and Booker believe that the feds have to jump in now because this is a critical point in time, and they're supportive of the president and the Attorney General, Eric Holder, on this.
Well, Senator Menendez, one of the loudest voices for a while now on immigration reform. What was his and Booker's take as it related to the executive action by the president and also what Congress is going to do about it?
Yeah, when I pressed them on this one, I tried to remind Booker and Menendez that President Obama said he would not do this. He did not believe in using the executive authority, executive power to change immigration policy without going to Congress. And Senator Menendez, being the experienced orator and experienced senator that he is and politician, said, you know, this was done by President Bush. This was done by other presidents on immigration policy and others, using the executive privilege, using executive orders, if you will. The bottom line is they just defended the president because I think they believe in the policy. That's my view of it. And the other thing is that they were basically saying the Republicans aren't going to do anything about it.
Well, there's good stuff and certainly a lot going on in the new session.
Thursday night.
Right. Absolutely. And we're going to find out. It seems like we're going to not shut the government down, but what the next year holds, and especially as we're fast approaching lame duck with 2 years to go, where Washington goes from here. Again, this Thursday night, FiOS 1, New Jersey. Steve, as always, my friend, thank you so much, and I look forward to that conversation.
It's going to be great. We're looking forward to everyone on FiOS 1 watching and tweeting during the show, and it'll be great responding to those questions, and great being partners with you, Rich.
And that conversation will take place this Thursday night at 7:30 on FiOS 1, New Jersey. And again, you'll hear the senators both with Steve. Again, that coming up this Thursday. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.